Hey and welcome to Neverwinter with Aragon. So this final week 20 of the free gifts that Cryptic Studios have been giving us, PC, we're just getting a bag of holding. This is somewhat predicted as consoles did get this bag of holding that has those 60 slots earlier than us. And thus there was the confusion as to why they got a free bag when we didn't. And here we go, we get it with the week 20. Now these bags have 60 slots valued in the Zen market, as you can see, at a base cost of 500 Zen. They are very decent at getting that inventory space to make sure you can hoard all of these said items, many of which you don't necessarily have to hoard, but Cryptic Studios really like to change up the meta here and there, doing combat reworks, and you end up with pieces of gear that you've tossed out that were modules ago, and all of a sudden they're now the best and you have to go and grind them all over again. So as soon as you have any piece of gear that you, let's say, upgraded or spent a lot of time to farm out, I tend to generally keep those pieces of gear just in case at some point they come valuable again, and then you save yourself the hassle of having to grind it. You can simply switch to it because you already have it. In my opinion, what you want to do with inventory bags is make sure you try and get your maxed out amount of bags. As you can see out here, there are definitely a few smaller bags that I could switch out instead of this one, but keep in mind when you do go and bind your bag, they usually get bound to that character and then you're not able to switch them anymore. So make sure to put them on a character which needs at least those bags. You can see I have another one here again, indecisive of where I want to actually put those bags. Very neatly that they have a ton of inventory space, 60. Now those of you on consoles, you'll be getting this free companion equipment choice pack. Now when you look through them, you can see that most of the pieces of gear, well actually all of the pieces of gear, has an offensive and a defensive statistic along with a runestone slot, which makes these very confusing as to why anybody would run with these. Of course, if you're a very new player and you don't have companion equipment yet, you would want to run with these. Otherwise, your end game is to try and get gear that has either double offense or double defense, depending if you're a tank or a DPS or healer. Now with that said, would I go and purchase more inventory space? Let's say you're running out. Well, personally, no. You are actually better off just purchasing new character slots rather than inventory space. You can use then characters to have certain inventory items. For example, I use this character to store all these bunch of enchantments, some food, and these overloads. And you can use that with all of those different other characters. And you can see that when you look on the Zen market to actually purchase character slots, it's pretty cheap there. You can see it only costs you 250 Zen, whereas to go and purchase a bag, you can see it costs you 500 Zen. So you're much better off just making a new character. Keep in mind you can have a maximum of 52. Other people could get 54, but I believe that's no longer possible. Creating your character, whatever race, whatever class you want, you go name it whatever, and you begin your adventure, and you start at level 1, and you can immediately begin using this character as your storage. You can see the amount of base inventory space you will get is a bunch of slots there, I believe just over 40, but then you also have your bank. You'll be able to pop over to your bank and you'll be able to use also the inventory space you get here and then use the shared bank to, let's say, transfer items between those characters. On top of that, another perk with having more characters is you can invoke on them, and you can see you'll obtain those rewards, the ardent coins, which you will then spend in the Vault of Piety to purchase these celestial coffers. And those coffers do have a chance to give you coalescent wards, which you can see can also give you just preservation wards. And those coal wards you can see will cost up to like 880,000 astral diamonds. 700,000 is generally where they are when they're on sale. Now keep in mind the ones you get from refining from those Vault of Piety bags will be bound to your account. You'll be able to upgrade something and then sell it on for a bit of profit, or you just save them up for personal use, which is highly recommended, so that let's say we end up getting new enchantments we need to upgrade, then we'll have that possibility. So again, hopefully this has been somewhat insightful and helped you guys. Just my take on inventory space. Don't recommend spending Zen to just purchase bags. They generally give out numerous amounts of free bags here and there, and you may as well just make extra characters if you do have the Zen to spend, as you'll be able to then invoke on each of them and also just use them to store items that you may need. So if you presented as well, consider leaving the video a like. If you're new around here, consider subscribing. We'll see you guys around. Goodbye for now.